Hey everybody, it's Ron from Pick Dawgz, and this is Ron's Bank Shop Breakdown. We're going to go over 5 college basketball games for Sunday, November 26, 2023. And if you like what you see, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to put your college basketball picks in the comment section below. And if you're looking for my best bets, you can find those at the Premium Picks tab at pickdawgz.com. I'm going to try to keep this video a little bit shorter than normal. Not feeling the best, feeling a little bit under the weather. That's why we posted this video in the morning. But nonetheless, let's go over these 5 games for college basketball Sunday. First up, it's New Mexico State taking on Louisville. This one's going to be 1 p.m. Eastern start time. ESPN Plus has this one. I'm going to go with Louisville here. I just think that, New Mexico State's a team I've mentioned a few times this year. I'm looking to fade early on this season. It's a big-name program that's done some pretty big things in recent years in college basketball, but it's just not the same team, not the same system this season. I like Jason Hooten. I think he's a great coach. I think he's exactly who you want to, rebuild your program, but this team's not playing well right now. We've seen the last 2 games. They played competitive against Fresno State, went to overtime, but then they just lost to Southern Illinois 81-54. And I don't really trust this team on either side of the ball. Louisville, one of the weaker teams in Power 5 basketball this season, certainly last year, and they have a losing record so far, and then, back-to-back losses to Texas and Indiana. But they've been a lot more competitive, I would say, this year than they were this time last year. I mean, they only lost by 1 point to Texas, and it was a pretty close game against Indiana as well at the neutral site. Now at home, I think this is a really good spot to get that feel-good blowout win. I'm going to take Louisville here when I lay the points. I think they win this game by double digits. Next up, we see ULM, Louisiana Monroe, taking on SMU. This one, 3 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be on ESPN+. Similar to that Louisville game, I just think this is a feel-good blowout win for SMU here. I like what I'm seeing from SMU to start the season. They have that nice win against West Virginia at the neutral site, 70-58. Their 2 losses were to teams that are really solid, top 25 teams in KenPom, Texas A&M and Wisconsin. Both those games were competitive at one point. The Texas A&M game got a little bit away from SMU towards the end of that one, but SMU defensively top 60 in just defensive efficiency. I also think their offense is better than the numbers we see on paper. And going forward, especially in conference play, this is going to be a team to watch out for this season. On the other side, Louisiana Monroe, they've only played 4 games this year, so one of the least amount of games that any team's played in Division I so far. I don't like the fact that this offense turns the ball over a ton, over 24% of their possessions, and in a turnovers. This is not a very good shooting team to begin with. So, like I said, that SMU defense really strong. I don't think ULM does much offensively here, and SMU's best offense may be its defense, forcing those turnovers and scoring those fast break buckets on the other end. Give me SMU here. I think they win this game by 20+. Next up, we see Harvard and Indiana. This one's going to be 4:30 Eastern on the Big Ten Network. I think Harvard's a live dog in this game. This team's 5-1 to start the year. They played a lot of true road games, so they're battle-tested. And in fact, their last 3 games were all against top 200 teams in KenPom and all on the road. UMass, Boston College, and Colgate. It was a 9-point loss to Boston College and then 2 wins against UMass and Colgate. So Harvard's been playing well this season. 5-1, like I said, shooting the ball really well. This is a very good 3-point shooting team. Top 10 in the country in 3-point shooting. I like my underdogs that can make the 3. This is also a pretty good defensive team, ranked 113th in adjusted defensive efficiency. Good perimeter defense, even better 2-point defense. Top 40 in the country. Indiana, I give them credit for a 4-1 start to the season. This was a team that lost a lot of production from last year's roster, mostly, the most talented guys on the roster from last year. But, they've been able to be competitive so far. They get to the free throw line a ton, but the rebounding number is just not good enough. I don't think the offense is good enough, honestly, to cover this big number at home. I'm going to take Harvard plus the points in this one. Next up, we see Texas A&M taking on Iowa State, probably the game of the night for Sunday's card of college basketball. This one's going to be 6:30 Eastern. It's going to be on ESPN2. In this matchup, I think you got a world-class offense in Texas A&M going up against an elite defense in Iowa State. The question is Iowa State's offense better than Texas A&M's defense? I think so. Iowa State's shot quality-wise getting a lot of good looks offensively. This isn't the most talented team offensively, but hey, they're taking care of the basketball. They're getting to the free throw line. They have really good offensive rebounding numbers. So I like the fundamentals that I'm seeing from Iowa State. Now, Texas A&M's number 1 in the country in offensive rebounding percentage. 48.1% of their missed shots have ended in an offensive rebound. But Iowa State, top 10 in college basketball in defensive rebounding percentage. So the big advantage that Texas A&M usually has over its opponents, it's not going to have it in this game against the Cyclones defense. So not only is the Cyclones really good defensive rebounding team, but they're also number 1 in the country in turnover percentage defensively. So this is a really solid Iowa State defense. I do think their offense is going against a weak Texas A&M defense. Give me the Cyclones here as a reasonable number here. Only Iowa State's a 1-point favorite. I'm going to take them on the money line. I think they win this game outright. And the final game for Sunday's card of college hoops is going to be UC Davis and Sacramento State, 8 p.m. Eastern on ESPN+. I'm going to lay the points here with UC Davis. I think there's value laying single digits in a game like this. Sacramento State, 1-5 this season. They played some tough matchups, mostly true road games and neutral site games, so they are battle-tested, but this defense is not good enough. 315th in adjusted defensive efficiency. They don't force virtually any turnovers, really bad perimeter defense, and the offense is much better. I mean, not a very good shooting team. They turn the ball over 23.5% of their possessions. UC Davis forces a lot of turnovers, 27th in the country in turnover percentage defensively, so UC Davis should score a lot of points in this ball game. Their defense is super slow. It's ranked 360th in average possession length, but the offense is top 100 in possession length, so we're going to see a pretty fast-paced game in my opinion. I'm going to take UC Davis and lay the points to end the night. And that's it. Those are the games for Sunday in college basketball. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe, and don't forget to put your college basketball picks in the comment section below. Again, if you're looking for my best bets, you can find those at Pick Dawgz Premium. As always, this is Romanelli. Good luck.